Before you can think about animating, set building, or video editing, you have to think about script writing. It's the very first step in the entire brick filming process, and if you're going to make an animation of any decent length, you're going to want to have a script. I used to create brick films without using a script. It was called Brickhumor. Go check it out. Now, I consider script writing to be the pivotal, the most important part in the entire brick filming process. Now, people will beg to differ, many people will disagree with that, but my reasoning is that you can be a stellar animator. You can be Michael Hickox or Forest Fire, one of the big ones, and if your script is just lousy, then your entire film is going to be brought down because of that. So you really want to take a lot of time when you're working on the script. How long did I take? About a month. I started in Costa Rica. I was on vacation there, and it was a nice relaxing setting to get started, and that's what you want. You don't want it to be a place where you're stressed out. You want to find your happy place, somewhere quiet, and just sit there. And you might not write anything down. You might sit for, hours on end just thinking, and that's perfectly fine. That's part of the creative process. Now, people will ask then, what inspired me? Where do you get your ideas for your brick films? And there's no one answer for this. For me, personally, I was inspired by stick figure comics I used to draw when I was in the 3rd grade. And that sounds ludicrous now, but Tyler, Henry, the flying car, all that stuff came right out of these comics I used to draw. And it's not just stuff I've made. I've also been inspired by, let's say, The Simpsons. I love The Simpsons. It's a great example of something that's both colorful, entertaining, humorous, just like brick films. And if you look carefully, Mr. Goldstein and Montgomery Burns, those two characters, you can point out a few similarities. Hopefully you can see how these things tie together, how I was inspired by other works. And there's other things that contributed to Quest for the Framestone, and a lot of them I just can't think of. And now, sometimes people aren't satisfied with that. They'll say, okay, so I get where you got your inspiration from, but how do you come up with an original idea? Case in point, the Framestone. By my definition, that was an original idea. It's an object that changes the frame rate. Now, I have no doubt that that has been done somewhere before, but I've never seen it implemented in a brick film, so I consider it my own idea. And people wonder, how do you come up with stuff like that? And again, it's just sitting down and thinking. And at the time, I think I was in the shower when I came up with the idea of the Framestone. So, it's all about finding somewhere relaxing, find your happy place, and ask a friend, ask a family member. I'm sure they'd be happy to help you out. And once you have your script, I encourage you to make changes as you go. Now, this is the script for Quest for the Framestone. It's 25 pages, and I changed it many times going throughout the entire process. If you look, you can probably get an idea of all the scribbles I have in here. Maybe, maybe not. It was marked up, is what I'm trying to get at. I put a lot of tweaks and changes in here, and you can't be afraid to do that. You cannot treat the script like it's set in stone, because you might find something you want to include, like, I don't know, the guy who got his clothes flung off by the car. That was not in the original script. Also, when Tyler first arrived in Africa, in the original script, he settled down in a hotel room. To this day, I have no idea why I thought that was a good idea, but that was scratched early on in the project. So, be willing to change the script, and you might make it worse off. It's possible, but I think that the script will be better if you just keep an open mind. And at this point, I really don't have anything else to say about script writing. I think this, more than anything else, more than animating or anything, this is up to you. So just let it be your own and be happy with what it turns out to be. And with that, I have nothing else to say. Next tutorial coming up whenever I have time to make one. So until then, build on.